Welcome to the Amazons.
Welcome to the jungle.
The jungle. Wow, what a place.
Yeah, really. Amazonas, I really like it.
It's incredible. If you ever have the opportunity, you should really consider going to the Amazons. We arrived in this town where we are right now. We're in the swimming pool in the morning.
In Leticia.
Leticia, yes, and it's a small Colombian town.
Absolutely. Quite busy, I would say, to be a town in the middle of Amazonas. They have restaurants and hotels and a lot of people selling trips into the jungle.
Yeah, everyone wants to sell you a trip into the jungle. Even the guy on the corner of the street wants to sell you a trip to professional tour companies.
I think like 4 seconds after we landed, the guy tried to sell us a tour.
Yeah, but first when you land, we flew from Bogota in here, and when you land, you have to pay a tourist tax.
That's true. You have to stand in line and pay about 36, I think it was, 1,000 Colombian per person to get into Amazonas or Leticia.
And then when you get in, it's really a short drive from the airport to the city. It's like 10 minutes. You can walk to the airport almost. And the town is approximately 40,000 people. But it's also really close to Brazil and Peru.
And Peru. They say that it lies in a kind of a U. So you have like Peru, Brazil and Colombia. So they're like all together in one place.
Yeah. So this morning we actually took a morning run. And we ran from Colombia to Brazil,
Yeah,
which was really cool, and back again to Colombia. So now we're in the pool in our hotel here in Leticia. But we also, of course, went out on the river of Amazons. We took a boat. A lot of the tourists, they go in these big boats from Leticia. You are packed together with a lot of tourists, and they show you the same thing to everyone. They show you the dolphins.
The pink dolphins?
Yeah, they have two types of dolphins in their Amazon River. They have the gray one
and the big one.
I'm sorry, we don't actually have pictures of the dolphins. We saw them, but they were just up and down. So we didn't really catch the dolphins on camera.
You see the fin, like a little bit.
Yeah, and then we drove to a monkey island where some people showed us the monkeys, which are really fond of getting food from humans, so they want to come to you and give you and climb on you.
Sit on your head, sit on your shoulder, on your backpack.
You really love that.
I thought it was very fun. I wanted to stay there longer.
Then we drove over to another island with indigenous people, and we got to see like they had a show for us. They showed us how they you normally do a wedding. So one of the girls from our tour, she was dressed up in their costume, which was really cool, the costume, and they danced and had a ceremony and they were married, which was nice. But then we went to this, because our hotel and a lot of the hotels in Leticia and in the area, they have a second hotel which is out in the jungle. So we stayed in their sister hotel out in the jungle, where we booked 2 trips. First we booked a trip, a night trip into the jungle where you go with headlamp and boots, and you walk and look for animal. And what kind of animals did we see, Sophia, during the night?
Oh, I think we saw kind of everything on the bucket list. We saw a snake, a salamander, a scorpion. We saw a lot of tarantulas.
Even baby tarantulas?
Even a baby tarantula, that was cute. And
bats?
Bats, a lot of bats.
We saw fish in their like small ponds.
And we saw birds sleeping. They actually puff up when they want to sleep. They're very cute.
Yeah, they puff up so the mosquitoes won't bite them. And we saw also a lot of cocoa.
And we had a very good guide who could guide us through this and make us understand how it all works.
And then we did a trip to get all the 3 countries. We jogged to Brazil. We stayed in Colombia, but then we took a day trip to Peru. We drove over the river, over Amazonas to Peru, and went into this village with indigenous people, and we got a guide there who showed us a lot of things in the jungle on the daytime. What did we see there, Sofia?
We were actually quite lucky there as well. We saw toucans, amongst other.
Toucans we don't have pictures of because we needed to sneak up on, but there's the birds with the big beaks, right?
Yeah.
We saw camungu.
Camungu we saw. Also actually snake, we saw a anaconda that was captured of one of the farmers or indigenous people there because he didn't want to eat his chickens.
We also saw frogs.
And we saw sloths. I thought that was the coolest.
Sloths?
Sloths.
Yeah, we saw sloths, of course. I just can't remember the name in English. In Norwegian, it's dovendyr. And we saw the biggest tree I've ever seen. It was over 400 years old, with roots spreading out like arms, like motor tracks.
It must have been 20 meters wide in like the widest part. It was amazing.
Yeah, we stayed there for like half an hour just watching this tree. It's amazing. But how would you describe just being in the Amazons, like in the jungle?
I think it's quite, well, at least when you're not in this very big tourist group, it's quite peaceful. And you can kind of walk into the Amazon more and more, like it gets denser and denser with jungle. That's quite an amazing feeling, and it never stops. We just saw like a small tiny part of this amazing and huge jungle.
What about the river? What do you think about that?
The river is maybe surprisingly brown.
Yeah.
I would have thought it was maybe more blue or greenish, but it's quite brown. There's a lot of plants in the river floating around, floating plants.
But it's also really wide.
Yeah.
It looks like, some places it looks like a lake. You can't even imagine that this is a river. Would you recommend people going here?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially to maybe spend the night in the jungle. They have many tours that we have heard other people going on like 4 days or 3 days hikes, sleeping in the jungle as well. I think that also would be cool if you like that.
And now we are going back to Bogota, and then we're going to a really exotic place which we will probably show you in some weeks.